everybody. It is about 5:30 p.m. on the last day of April, Thursday, April 30th. It's time for another Saudi Arabia coronavirus update. I took the last 2 days off because there wasn't a whole lot going on. But I have some news now, so let's get right into it. Today, Saudi Arabia got 1,351 more cases, bringing them to 22,753. And the world got about 80,000 more, bringing them to 3,219,000. Of course, by the time this video is uploaded, it will be even higher. So check the latest figures for the up-to-date totals. There were 210 more recoveries in the kingdom today. That's great news. And 5 more deaths. And of these new 1,351 cases, we had 440 in Riyadh, 392 in Mecca, 119 in Medina, 120 in Jeddah, 110 in Dammam, and 23 more in Qatif, which just reopened today. Starting today, Thursday, it was announced yesterday that people would be able to enter and exit Al-Qatif, which is a city near Bahrain, near Dammam. It was one of the first cities to be quarantined, to be locked down. I think it might have been the first. But as of yesterday, it only had 20, I think, or 23 active cases. And then they got 23 more new ones today. So we'll see what happens with that. I think it was probably too early to open up. But you know, Saudi Arabia has been locked down for like 6 weeks now. Or at least no borders closed for about 6 weeks. All right. What else? It says Saudi Arabia is planning a full reopening of the economy soon. Now, I don't know how soon is. Is soon 2 weeks? Is soon 3 months? Is soon 5 days? We'll see what happens. Of course, they'll change their plans as new information comes in. I think it's too early to reopen myself, but there are lots of economic, socio-political, civil concerns that surround the issue about whether you should unlock and you should return to work and open the economy and all that. I hear Tunisia is planning on opening its economy, and Oman is thinking about how they're going to do it. Of course, all countries are thinking about how they're going to do it. So I think it's too early to put everyone back to work and lift the lockdowns. Even if they do, the world is never going to be the same again. People will be talking about the lockdown, and they're going to change their behavior for years after this. So there's all sorts of downstream effects. I'm going to sneeze, I think. Woo! Let's move on. Saudi Arabia is giving refunds to people who paid for visas and cannot enter the kingdom. It's a nice thing to do. These are people who had visas relatively recently for work, tourism, or maybe pilgrimage. And, some of these visas cost a lot of money, hundreds of dollars. Well, they used to anyway. I think now a business or tourist visa costs about $120 US. If you want to get an Iqama, you have to, which is like a special work visa, that's going to cost a little bit more money, and you have to get all sorts of medical tests, and it's a much bigger deal. Of course, it gives you more privileges, but that's going to cost some more money too. So, good news for those people who can't come to the kingdom. At least they'll get their money back. All right. Malls and open air markets opened yesterday, reopened, I should say, on Wednesday. They have temperature scanners now. They have face masks, they have gloves, hand sanitizer, masks, and they're enforcing social distancing. Now, unlike a lot of the people in Saudi Arabia, I'm not really a big mall guy. You won't see me hanging out at the mall, walking around, buying a bunch of clothes that I don't really need. So I probably won't be going to the mall and filming a video from inside there. Although that would be an interesting, clip to show you guys. I don't think I'm going to make it to any malls to show you what it's like. I've heard that the people and the guards inside the mall are enforcing social distancing. I don't know exactly how they're doing that. I think it's probably too early to reopen the malls. I don't know how many people want to go to the malls right now. And at least in my home country of the United States, I think that COVID-19 is going to pretty much kill the mall. People just don't need to go to stores to buy things anymore. They'll buy stuff online. They don't need to be hanging out with a bunch of strangers in enclosed areas where viruses can spread. So I think malls are pretty much on their way out, and good riddance. They'll have to adapt and reinvent themselves if they want to stay competitive in the post-coronavirus era, and they probably won't. So I mentioned in the last video that Saudi Airlines had flights listed for sale in June. Maybe I said late May. Saudi has come out and denied that these flights are going to be available. Just said there's like some kind of error that put them on their website. But they are squashing the rumors that flights will be available starting in June. So, if the economy reopens in Saudi Arabia, then I assume the flights will. So maybe that's going to all happen in July or later. And supposedly, one of my friends here I wasn't actually going to book a flight, but he was looking at the booking process, and they weren't even asking for some of his travel information that you would think they would be looking for. So he is not under the impression that those flights are going to happen. I don't think any of these flights are going to happen. I don't think we'll see commercial, domestic, or international flights except for evacuation, diplomatic, and humanitarian flights. I don't think we'll see any of these flights in Saudi Arabia until July. So I will have to be taking one of the evacuation flights out of the kingdom. I did price out transportation for me and a few of my other co-workers in order to get a driver and transportation. They'll have to come down all the way from Jeddah, pick us up here in Khamis Mushait or in Abha, and then take us all the way back up to Jeddah. That's probably a 9-hour drive one way. It's going to cost 2,100 SAR, which is about $560 altogether before it's divided up into 2, 3, or 4, however many of us are going and can fit in the vehicle. So we haven't booked that yet. I'm going to wait till I get my April check for that. But that's pretty much how it's going to happen, I think. We'll just find out about an evacuation flight out of Jeddah, buy our tickets, apply for our transport permits, get the transport guy, the driver to come down, and then go back up. I did receive an email from the United States Embassy. There is an evacuation flight leaving Riyadh on May 8th. But because I'm in Aseer region, this is part of the U.S. consular mission to Jeddah, so I have to fly out of Jeddah, or so I'm told. So I can't be taking that flight anyway because I will still be contractually bound on May 8th. It is Thursday, April 30th, so in 2 weeks I will be officially relieved from my contract, released, and I'll be able to prepare my exit. So these videos will be coming to an end relatively soon. I don't expect that there will be more than 10 more of them. 50 is the number I'm trying to end on, if all goes well. All right, what else do I have? In addition to this U.S. evacuation flight, there were recently 296 Filipinos sent back on a flight 168 Turks who were flown back to Turkey, not exactly a safe place for coronavirus right now. And from Japan, 227 Saudis came back into the kingdom. So, not sure what they're doing in Japan. Doesn't seem like a typical destination for your average Saudi, but it was only 227. And last piece of news I'm going to leave you on today is about Yemen. So, 29 KS Relief, that's King Salman Relief. This is like a non-profit organization, a humanitarian organization run by the Saudi government. 29 of these trucks entered Yemen from the Al Wadiya border crossing. This is in central Yemen, so they're going to the Saudi-controlled, Saudi-backed faction of Yemen rather than the Iran-backed Houthi rebels operating in the west. They went to the east, and they were bringing these 29 trucks. Oh, it's a loud truck down there. They were bringing 165 tons of food and lots of shelter materials, because of course Yemen's dealing with drought, with locusts, and with the coronavirus now. It's really one of the worst countries to be in, especially during this coronavirus pandemic. So hopefully they'll get the help that they need, and they will be not so badly hit by COVID-19. Although we're still very early in this process. The first waves are pretty much peaking or starting to dip, and we'll see, based on how countries around the world decide they're going to reopen their governments, if this becomes a huge problem again. I think it will, or if it becomes kind of manageable during the summer. So we'll see what happens there. American unemployment figures hit 30 million today, which is very high. It's almost 20%, I believe, in America of the workforce unemployed now. So things are definitely getting worse, and I will consider myself lucky if I just make it home on time, safely, at a fair cost. So thanks for watching this video, guys. Like, subscribe, all the rest. If you have a comment that you want me to answer, haven't been getting many comments and questions lately, please let me know in the comments below, and inshallah I will answer them in the comments of this video or in a future video. So stay home, stay safe, wash your hands, get lots of sleep, and happy Ramadan.